that now.
The Prime Minister's just spoken about the shocking news from Afghanistan of the death of another two of Australia's courageous soldiers in that country, serving this country, and the wounding of 5 of their comrades. The news from Afghanistan is appalling. We send our condolences to the families, the friends, the fellow workers in the ADF, to the communities involved, but represent again another dimension of the nationwide alarm, concern and grief at this mounting death toll of Australians in Afghanistan. It has been our position throughout that the Australian combat forces should be brought home. We stand by that and will work to that end. The Prime Minister has committed to an annual debate on Afghanistan in our Parliament. That's part of the agreement with the Greens. I will move in that debate for the withdrawal of our troops to our own country. The 10 years on from the invasion of Afghanistan and the circumstances where the government of the day and the US administration moved attention to Iraq and as a result have no doubt led to this prolonged failure to settle in Afghanistan. It is time for a very serious review, and I call on the Prime Minister to reconsider the Australian troop commitment. Like the Netherlands, we should bring our troops home safely to our shore to the better deployment in Australia's interests. However, in the meantime, and this will mark every Australian, the 3 deaths and the soldiers injured in just the last week points to the need for a stocktake. Our grief goes out to the people who will be numbed by the news that's come through to Australia this morning. And I join the Prime Minister in wishing them to know that everybody in this Parliament representing this great nation admires the courage and commitment of our Australian Defence Force personnel and not least, of course, the families who now have to bear the suffering of the ultimate commitment on behalf of this country of these 2 ADF personnel who've lost their lives in Afghanistan.
Senator, what sort of review are you talking about? Would it be a parliamentary or some sort of external review, and what specifically should be reviewed?
David, our country has constitutionally gives the right to deploy forces to the government of the day, not the Parliament. We want to see that changed. It should be, as in the United States and elsewhere, the business of the Parliament to deploy and therefore to withdraw troops in the service of this nation. But that puts a bigger burden onto the government of the day, in this case the Gillard government, to take into account the majority feeling in this nation that our troops should be withdrawn home from the opinion polls that we've seen. But also I think, growing feeling there will be within this Parliament that a very serious review of the timetable ought to be undertaken first by the government and, if not, a consideration of the withdrawal of Australia's troops back to this nation this year. Thank you. Now, we